Let me introduce to you now Mr. Jerry Burton, who will moderate the panel. Jerry, give him a round of applause.
Good morning. And welcome. Hopefully this will be an experience, none like some of you have probably ever had. You're in a room of true heroes as far as I'm concerned. And a lot of people are concerned, I would say. First, let me introduce you to the gentleman here on the panel. To the far left, we have Mr. William Fontroy. Center, Mr. Ivan Ware. And Mr. James Pride. One of the things I want to point out is you're not looking at just pilots on this panel. You are looking at Tuskegee Airmen, though. They all were a part of the Tuskegee experience. Tuskegee experience was about learning. Hopefully we continue to learn. A lot of these guys, they volunteered. I would say all of them volunteered, to be a part of history before they even knew it was going to be history. They went to training together, flew airplanes together, fixed airplanes together, supported airplanes together. They supported the United States in a way few others could have done. And they did that because they wanted to. They weren't drafted. They allowed themselves to be a part of history. Today, we are starting to recognize what they actually did. A lot of people talk about the amount of airplanes that were lost during the war. Many airplanes were saved because these men were there. Many World War II pilots returned because of Tuskegee. I like to point out their lives did not just stop at World War II, which is the amazing part of what I see almost every month during our monthly meetings. They talk about life after World War II. But I would say life began at World War II for a lot of them because they learned some of the skills that they brought back to the United States to help our country. They don't like to talk about a lot of the things they did unless they're prodded. So there will be a time for you guys to ask some questions. But some of the things I do want to point out. One recent event, the Congressional Gold Medal, awarded by the President of the United States. Few people have been given that. The Tuskegee Airmen got it as a group for all of the things they did. It's a hard thing to carry sometimes, as you notice. None of them volunteered to bring it. I didn't ask, and I will never ask them to bring it. However, it's one of those things that you can take and say, you know what, we did pretty good, didn't we? I point out, I like to say, some of the other things that are done. And again, the personal questions, you guys can come and you can ask them, and you'll get the stories. And I just couldn't put together a list of things to ask that will bring out everything anybody in here would want to know. But I will say again, the legacy of the Tuskegee Airmen is not just about their history. It's about passing on the future of every young person in this room. Scholarships, flight training, mentoring. If you want to talk to someone about the Tuskegee experience, they are available. Not just them. They're trying to pass the information on to guys like me. No, I am not an original. I don't want to make that stand here and pretend that I am. But I do appreciate and want to make sure they are never forgotten. One of the things that the gentleman here, I think, try to pass on is continuing the thought process that it took for those who went through the Tuskegee experience to endure some of the things. A lot of the specifics are known. Some of the specifics will never be known. However, they went through a time where it was not easy for a man of color to get in an airplane and fly. It was not easy. It was not easy for a man to pick up a radio and say, I'm in control here, listen to what I have to say. These gentlemen are a part of history, and they're living history. And hopefully, that history will continue as long as we can remember. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to Tuskegee Airmen. Those of you that have any questions, please stand and we will try to accommodate your questions as clearly as we can. I'm sorry. Yes, we'll have them make an individual statement, and then we'll have some questions. Mr. Fauntleroy.
The child should lead. I'm the baby up here. And I'm 81 years old. But my experience was peculiar in a way. I enlisted in the Army Air Corps at 11th and New York Avenue when I was 17 years old. I was fortunate enough to pass the tests that were given me, even though I had not finished high school. That will surprise some of these guys because most of them were college men when they went into service. But as I said, I'm a baby in the bunch, and I went in later. I was sworn in February the 1st, 1944, in the reserves as a 17-year-old young man. In May of 1944, I went into the service. A year later, I started pilot's training in pre-flight at Tuskegee. I soloed in the PT-13D in June of 1945. I soloed in the AT-6 in August of 1945. Now, my class, 45I, takes credit for having ended the war. They heard we were coming and everybody quit.